What's good, Vikings Nation? Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. Hit us like a blitz from Aaron Donald. The Minnesota Vikings just announced 3 massive roster moves that have fans buzzing. Linebacker Brian Asamoah Waived, a former third-round pick, has been waived. Wide receiver Rondale Moore is out for the season on injured reserve. And center Zeke Correll was waived with an injury designation. Can you believe this shakeup? What's your take on these moves? Smart or shocking? Drop it in the comments. This news is a gut punch, especially for those of us who've been rooting for Asamoah since his explosive rookie days. The Vikings are clearly reshaping their roster as they gear up for joint practices with the New England Patriots. But why now, and what does this mean for the team's future? Let's dive into the heart of this story. Stick with me because we're about to unpack how these moves tie into the bigger picture of Kwesi Adofo-Mensah's tenure and the infamous 2022 draft class. Are we witnessing a rebuild or a reckoning? Let's find out. Brian Asamoah Waived exit stings. Let's talk about Brian Asamoah Waived, Vikings fans. This one hurts. Drafted 66th overall in 2022 out of Oklahoma, Asamoah was supposed to be the future of our linebacker core. His rookie season had us hyped, flying around the field, making plays, and forcing a memorable fumble against the Giants on Christmas Eve. Who else remembers cheering for that one? But things took a turn. Over 3 seasons, Asamoah played in 46 games, racking up 188 defensive snaps and 802 special teams snaps, with 30 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 recovery. Solid, but not starter material. Why didn't he break through? Was it the scheme, the coaching, or something else? Let's dig deeper into what went wrong. The timing of this release, 2 weeks before the August 26th roster cutdown, raises eyebrows. Is this a sign of confidence in the current linebacker room, or a desperate move to fix past mistakes? Keep watching to see how this fits into the bigger Vikings puzzle. The defensive scheme shift. Here's where it gets juicy, Skol fans. Asamoah's fall from grace ties directly to a seismic shift in Minnesota's defense. In 2022, under defensive coordinator Ed Donatel, the Vikings ran a Vic Fangio-style scheme. Conservative, focused on gang tackling, perfect for a speedy linebacker like Asamoah. He was a rookie sensation in that setup. But then Brian Flores arrived in 2023 with his aggressive, blitz-heavy defense. Suddenly, Asamoah's inconsistent tackling became a glaring issue. Flores' system demands precision, and Asamoah struggled to adapt. Did the coaching change seal his fate, or was he just not cut out for the NFL's elite level? What do you think, Vikings Nation? This mismatch highlights a bigger question. Is Kwesi Adofo-Mensah building a roster that fits Flores' vision? With Asamoah gone, the linebacker room now leans on Blake Cashman, Ivan Pace Jr., Eric Wilson, and rookie Kobe King. Let's explore what this means for the defense. The 2022 draft class disaster. Hold on to your horns, Vikings fans, because we need to talk about the elephant in the room. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah's 2022 NFL draft class. It's been called a disaster, and Asamoah's release is just the latest nail in the coffin. Only 2 players from that class, Jalen Nailor and Ty Chandler, remain on the roster. That's brutal for a GM's first draft. Let's break it down. Louis Cine, 1st round. Andrew Booth, 2nd round. Ed Ingram, 2nd round. Caleb Evans, 4th round. Esazi Odomwo, 5th round. Vadirian Lowe, 6th round. And Nick Muse, 7th round, are all gone. Asamoah's exit leaves just Nailor and Chandler. What went wrong with this class? Share your thoughts below. The 2022 draft was supposed to set the foundation for Kwesi's vision, but it's become a lightning rod for criticism. Is this a fair assessment, or are we missing the bigger picture? Let's keep digging. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah under fire. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, our GM, is feeling the heat, Vikings Nation. Fans and analysts point to the 2022 draft as the biggest reason some are sour on his leadership. Losing 8 of 10 picks from that class before their rookie contracts expire is a tough look. But is it all bad news? Since 2022, Kwesi's draft process has reportedly improved, with hits like Donovan Jackson in the 2025 first round and a 34-17 record under his and Kevin O'Connell's watch. Still, the 2022 failures loom large. Do you think Kwesi's getting a bad rap? Or is the criticism deserved? Let's hear it. With 3 open roster spots after Tuesday's moves, Kwesi has a chance to make a statement. Will he lean on free agents, trades, or undrafted gems to fill the gaps? The next scene might give us a clue. Rondale Moore's heartbreaking injury. Switching gears, let's talk about Rondale Moore, Vikings fans. The speedy wide receiver, acquired this offseason, was placed on season-ending injured reserve after a knee injury in the preseason opener against Houston. This is devastating, especially since Moore missed all of 2024 with another knee injury. 2 years in a row? That's rough. Moore's injury happened on a punt return against the Texans, where he gained just 2 yards before getting tackled. Tests confirmed the worst. Another season lost. At only 25, Moore's career is at a crossroads. Should he keep pushing, or is it time to hang up the cleats? What's your take? This loss leaves a hole at wide receiver, especially with Jordan Addison's 3-game suspension to start 2025. How will the Vikings adjust? Let's dive into the receiving core next. The wide receiver woes. Vikings Nation, our wide receiver room just took a hit. With Rondale Moore out and Jordan Addison suspended for the first 3 games, the pressure's on Justin Jefferson, Jalen Nailor, and guys like Lucky Jackson to step up. Can they carry the load for rookie QB J.J. McCarthy? The Vikings' passing game hinges on McCarthy's development, and losing Moore's speed hurts. Rumors are swirling about potential veteran additions like Amari Cooper or even a reunion with Brandon Powell. Would you love to see Adam Thielen back in purple? Drop your dream receiver signing in the comments. Kwesi's got cap space. $1.45 million from Asamoah's release alone to make a move. Will he pull the trigger on a trade or stick with the current roster? The next few weeks will be critical. Zeke Correll's unfortunate exit. Let's not forget Zeke Correll, Vikings fans. The undrafted rookie center from NC State was waived with an injury designation after fracturing his ankle in the preseason opener. 12 offensive snaps in his pro debut, and now he's sidelined. Talk about bad luck. Correll's injury opens another roster spot, but it also raises questions about depth on the offensive line. With Donovan Jackson projected as the starting left guard and Ryan Kelly holding down center, where does this leave the backups? Any concerns about the O-line? Let me know below. The Vikings' decision to waive Correll suggests they're confident in their current linemen, but injuries can change everything. Let's see how this impacts their strategy moving forward. The linebacker room rebuild. Back to the defense, Vikings Nation. With Asamoah gone, the linebacker room is now anchored by Blake Cashman, Ivan Pace Jr., Eric Wilson, and rookie Kobe King. That's a solid group, but is it enough to compete in the NFC North? What do you think of this crew? Kobe King, a 6th-round pick in 2025, might have sealed Asamoah's fate. His impressive rookie minicamp showed promise, and Brian Flores seems to trust him. Could King be the steal of the draft? Let's talk about it. This shift signals Flores' vision for a versatile, hard-hitting linebacker core. But with only 4 linebackers likely on the final 53-man roster, who's the odd man out if injuries strike? Stay tuned. Asamoah's next chapter. What's next for Brian Asamoah II, Vikings fans? At just 25, he's young enough to catch on elsewhere. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler says teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, who run a Vic Fangio-style defense, could be a perfect fit for his speed and playmaking. Where do you think he'll land? Asamoah's release gives him a head start to learn a new playbook before the August 26th cut-down day. His 802 special teams snaps and draft pedigree make him an attractive pickup. Will he haunt the Vikings with a breakout season elsewhere? Let's speculate. This move also saves the Vikings $1.45 million in cap space. Could that money fund a splashy signing or trade? The possibilities are endless, and we're diving into them next. The cap space conundrum. Let's talk money, Vikings Nation. Waiving Asamoah freed up $1.45 million in cap space, per the Minnesota Star Tribune. That's enough for a veteran minimum deal or a sneaky trade. What would you do with that cash? Bolster the receiver room or add depth elsewhere? Kwesi's known for bold moves, like signing Will Fries to a 5-year, $88 million deal. But Asamoah's release coming days after he punched Fries in a training camp scuffle raises questions. Was this a football decision or a culture move? Kevin O'Connell's zero-tolerance policy for fighting might have played a role. With joint practices against the Patriots starting August 13th, the Vikings need to fill 3 roster spots. Will Kwesi go big or play it safe? Let's explore the options. Joint practices and roster battles. Vikings fans, the joint practices with the New England Patriots are here, and they're a make-or-break moment for the roster bubble guys. Kevin O'Connell calls these sessions the biggest part of his evaluation process. Who's stepping up to claim those open spots? Players like Ty Chandler and Jalen Nailor, our last 2022 draft survivors, are fighting for their jobs. Chandler's speed and special teams prowess give him an edge, but Nailor's knack for finding the end zone could secure his spot. Who are you rooting for? Drop it below. These practices will test the depth chart, especially at wide receiver and linebacker. With McCarthy slated to play in the preseason opener, the pressure's on to surround him with talent. Let's see who rises to the occasion. J.J. McCarthy's rookie spotlight. Speaking of J.J. McCarthy, Vikings Nation, our rookie QB is set to take the field in the preseason opener, per Kevin O'Connell. With Moore out and Addison suspended, McCarthy needs reliable targets. Can Nailor and Lucky Jackson step up? Or do we need a veteran? McCarthy's development is the key to 2025. The Vikings went 14-3 last year, and with Kwesi's improved drafts, there's hope for another playoff run. But a rookie QB needs help. What's your biggest worry for JJ this season? Let's hear it. The next few weeks will show us what McCarthy's made of. With the roster shakeup, Kwesi's betting on youth and upside. Is that the right call? Let's break it down. The bigger picture for 2025. Zooming out, Vikings fans, what does this all mean for 2025? The Vikings are coming off a 14-3 season, their best since 1998. Kwesi and O'Connell have made the playoffs twice in 3 years, but the 2022 draft haunts them. Can they overcome that narrative? With Donovan Jackson bolstering the O-line and young talent like Kobe King emerging, the roster looks strong. But injuries to Moore and Correll remind us how fragile depth can be. Are you confident in this team's direction? Share your thoughts. The Vikings face a tough NFC North with the Lions, Packers, and Bears. These roster moves are about building a contender. Are we on the right track? Or is Kwesi's seat getting hotter? One more scene to wrap it up. Skol Vikings, what's next? Alright, Vikings Nation, we've dissected the roster moves, the 2022 draft woes, and what's at stake for 2025. Brian Asamoah Waived exit, Rondale Moore's injury, and Zeke Correll's waiver are tough pills to swallow, but they open doors for new talent. Who should Kwesi target next? The joint practices and preseason games will tell us a lot about this team's heart. With J.J. McCarthy under center and a revamped defense, the Vikings could be a force. What's your bold prediction for the season? Drop it in the comments, and let's get the conversation going. If you love this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for more Vikings news. Share this with your fellow Skol fans, and let's keep the purple and gold pride alive. Until next time, Skol Vikings.